While since you guys have been on the draft floor.
Yeah, it was a little different for the first little while. I think we hadn't been in this format for a while. We've kind of gotten used to being in a war room and easy to talk freely, and you don't really have to be careful with your list as much. And it's just a different dynamic. But Montreal did such a great job, and I guess it reminds you of why we do it. It's such a fan-friendly event, and it's something unique to our league.
Cool for the prospects to get this experience. Obviously,
And that too, yeah, I think kids look at this and it's something they dream of. We had Alex Godiniak's son Krill as a runner, and I know that's a dream of his, is to be, in the future, his name be called and be at a draft like this.
You moved up a couple times. Just was it a case of guys falling further than you thought they were going to?
Not really. I think you put your list together, and there's certain layers that we put into it, and we say if we can move up in this layer and do it for the value we think's fair, then we do it. And you kind of do a little bit more quality over quantity a little bit too. If you wait too long, sometimes that layer, we call it, gets obliterated, and then you're into a different layer of players. So, we did it with the Gustafson, Jordan, who we really like. He was a layer on our list, and we said when we were going through it with Mateus in a layer and then Jordan Gustafson in a layer, if we thought if we could get two players in those layers and above on our list, would be a pretty good day to start. So.
It seems like from the scouting reports that Jordan, his skating is really a strength. Is that accurate? What do you like most about Gustafson?
About everything about him. He's a two-way player, big engine, plays all three forward positions, plays both specialty teams, and he did that as a 17-year-old on a very good Seattle team. And they're going to have a real good team again next year. His brother plays in Red Deer's 6'3". We think there's a chance he could grow a little bit. I don't know if he'll get to 6'3", but his brother grew late as well. So there's a lot to like about him. I think he's got character. He's got a very good two-way game. We just really like the versatility and the leadership that he brings.
You moved up for Cameron Whitehead too. What do you like about him?
Well, we had him rated as one of the top goalies on our list. I think much like we did with Vikman, we just had him rated high. We just felt if in that area, if we could get him in that area, is good. We have 2/3 next year, so we could flip our fourth from next year to this year and maximize, I think, value for that. So that's what we looked at there.
You woke up this morning, you didn't have a pick last night. That was probably pretty hard on you to sit there and watch players that you'd scouted all year. You get here this morning, and Matthias is there when you get there. Were your eyes big?
Yeah, we were excited. It's funny, you do all your mock drafts or all your preparation, and there's certain players that, with all the intel that we had, could be available, and we were really excited if he could be available. At one time we talked about maybe possibly moving up for him. We just felt with the way it had gone the first night, you sit down after the first night and you look at the group of names you have left. We just said, let's be patient at 48. Our thing was be patient at 48. We'll get a guy we like, and let's do something with 95. Let's move up from 95. And our strategy worked, I think. So.
Who's seen a lot of Matthias?
We all have. Saginaw. He started with Alinka with the Czechs, but then he came over and played in Saginaw. Played 20 minutes a night, played all situations. There's still a lot. He's a very raw prospect, very tall, lean prospect. Our sports science people think there's a lot to work with there. We think he's really going to pop offensively. There were some nights where and even when we talked to him about this at the Combine, he just ran out of gas because he's playing both specialty teams every night. 20, I think it was close to 22 minutes a night for a first-year forward from Europe that hasn't played that game, didn't play much the year before. So, there's lots of runway there. and we just feel that in 2 years he's going to be big, strong, really good two-way forward.
You got development camp this week. First time in a long time. Some of these guys, you haven't seen them on the ice at CNA. How excited are you for that?
Yeah, really excited. That and you look a little bit further into the rookie tournament. We did have that last year, but development camp's going to be good for us, but really good for the players. We got some kids that we drafted that haven't been able to be at a live development camp. They've done some virtual stuff, and I think just being live, being able to work with them, seeing them on the ice as a group, I think it's really exciting.
Are there any players that you're particularly excited to see, guys that you drafted maybe a year or two ago that have developed really nicely since you picked them?
Well, Brisson, Morozov, guys like that who've been a little bit harder, like them playing in the rookie tournament too is another step too. I think it's going to be really exciting. I think our group of forwards for the rookie tournament are going to be very, very deep and exciting. Zach Dean, we got the two European players we took last year, Babanic and Nemec, are those guys are going to be real good to see next year.
Morozov, obviously, it's been a while since you drafted him. How ready do you think he is? How hard is it to kind of project that from where he was over in Russia?
Well, that's going to be hard because his last year he didn't get any love. I think he got beat up a little bit. I think he just didn't have much of a year developmentally, and I think we're really looking forward for him. I guess just giving him opportunity to play in a lot of different situations. I think it starts with the rookie tournament, which I think is a very good level of hockey and very challenging. So,
Patrick Gay, it's hard to produce any guy that has 100 points in major junior hockey. It's a big season. He had 104. What do you like about him?
Goal scoring, 55 goals, very big. He plays bigger than his size. One of the top players in Charlottetown. Had a very good playoff as well too. It's funny. He's a kid that we talked about in his draft year, the 2 years previous. And if you look at his progression, if we would have drafted him, we would have been pretty happy with where he was as a 19-year-old. So I think in the 5th round, I was in Ottawa when we took Mike Hoffman, who had similar numbers, similar age, in that similar spot, and ended up, he's playing in NHL as with the goal scoring and everything like that. He's got for the smaller players, what you need from them is to compete, and he has big heart and works very, very hard.
Does he go to the net?
He goes to the net hard, and he can score from a distance or score around the net, and very good metrics he had. And we were just excited. We were going to see Babanic all the time, and he just kept popping off and you just kind of do your homework, and we kind of knew. We actually had him come into development camp if he goes through the draft, but we just are in knowing what we knew. He wasn't going to go through the draft, so we thought it was a good investment.
Anybody else that that kind of was a special, like you said, you knew that you wanted Matthias when you came here this morning. Was there another guy that kind of popped out for you like Gay did, that you were kind of, if we can get him, we'll grab him?
The Hemmerling kid was very exciting as well too. We had him quite high on our list, and we had talked extensively about him in our meetings, and to have him where we got him in the 6th round, I thought it was a very good value. And Everett has a real good program. They do a very good job of turning out players. He's an 04 that played, on the best. Well, they had the best record. They got beat in the 1st round because of injuries, but plays a lot like the Gustafson kid. The certain minutes that he plays, and plays all over their lineup in different positions. I think we're excited about him as well.
I got a text from someone in the Western League right away saying I like Hemmerling at that spot. So that's a good slot for him to get him there.
Yes, yeah, we were very excited. It's funny as the draft's unfolding, you got the guy on your list and you're sitting there looking at him, and you're hoping he doesn't get picked. And we know it happens all the time. And he was the guy in the 6th that we were sitting there waiting, crossing our fingers, and we were really happy to get him.